Welcome back after this short break. Well, we are continuing with our in conversation with Ranjit Shekhar Mooshahary, the former governor of Meghalaya. Well, we'll discuss some issues which has been very, very close to you, like the repealing of the Armed Force Special Powers Act. You have said in certain interviews which I have watched on television that you feel that this is not a democratic act.
Yes, I have told it not once but many times in public meetings, and also in the last governors conference in February. I have raised this issue in which the President, Prime Minister, all the important union ministers and all the governors are present. I told that Armed Forces Special Powers Act is not serving us any purpose at all. It is in use for the last 60 years. Situation in Manipur, situation in Jammu and Kashmir has not shown any improvement. It just, as I told you, it is like a festering wound. It seemed to heal but comes back and flares up. So despite this, AFSPA situation has not improved. And AFSPA, why it should be removed is that it is totally undemocratic legislation. You cannot treat people, the civil society, as enemies of the state. Few people might go astray. That does not mean that you punish the entire population. What does AFSPA give power? If you think of the power that AFSPA gives, a Havildar of the armed force, whether it is army or any armed force, is empowered to shoot a person, to kill him. No, he doesn't need anyone's permission. On mere suspicion that a person is a terrorist, or a mere suspicion that this person is carrying a weapon, you can shoot him dead. Then there is no accountability. Also, he can destroy any building, any structure, if he believes that the terrorists are hiding there, or some arms and ammunitions are being stored in that particular structure. This is a power which should not find place in democracy, and it is not helping. What it is doing is alienating the people. Now, situation is in Assam has improved. It is not because of AFSPA. It is because certain things have happened that is beyond AFSPA. Our militant leaders have come back from foreign territories, and they are here today. They have eschewed the violence, and not because AFSPA had helped them to come here. No, it is not. It is totally outside. So elsewhere also in Manipur, in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, possibly situation would improve for the better if you remove them, because then you will have better participation from the people. The civil society will feel assured that yes, there is a government which is concerned about us, and they want us to be in the mainstream. That feeling is essential if you want to bring peace into any territory. You cannot bring peace by alienating the whole civil society, and that is what AFSPA has done in the last 6 decades of its use in these areas. So I am totally against this one.
The hilly areas are always economically left behind. So do you think that if we see the overall infrastructure, economic development of this region, then the ethnic rift which we see here, the divide among the people which we see here, can be resolved?
We have two main problems in the northeast. One is geographically it is distant from Delhi, and second is the emotional distance of the people. The second one is doing much more harm than the first one. Geographical distance we can minimize now in this age of technology and science, internet, mobile connectivity, improvement in road conditions, the air connectivity and all that. That geographical distance can be reduced, but emotional distance is something that we have to address. People of the northeast still emotionally feel that they are treated differently by the rest of India. So that is what is That is what we have to really address, how to remove that emotional distance. Now, what I feel is with this development in science and technology, when the world is shrinking, a time will come when possibly we will be able to a great extent, mitigate this distance, emotional distance as well. And our young boys and girls are going out of the northeast for studies, jobs, and various other things. They will possibly have a different mindset than what others are having. So this is a thing. This is a evolutionary process. It will take some time, and of course, we are backward here, much more backward than other regions, many other regions, and that backwardness is attributable to a large extent to our own attitudes, to the culture that we have developed. We have developed a culture of corruption, totally endemic corruption, a culture of bans. We shut down our roads, our shops, our establishments, and all that too frequently. Is there a week when there is no band in Assam in some parts? And for example, you take our Kokrajhar area, which connects rest of the northeast to the mainland. In that, every week there are 2-3 bands. In a year, it exceeds 100 days. And if it is shut up, the whole road is shut down there. What do we expect? How do we expect the things to progress? We have to import everything from rice, vegetable, pulses, and everything that we need from outside, because we are not self-sufficient in many things. Even in rice, though we are rice eaters, fish, though we are fish eaters, we are non-vegetarians. We are not self-sufficient in all this. We have to bring from outside. And if we shut down our roads, how are they going to, people are going to get the supply? That is why we pay enormously. We pay the highest in the price for everything in India.
So like you always, as it was your dream, like you wanted to be a politician and you wanted to make things happen in your part of the region. Do you think that you will be able to represent the borderland part of the country in India in some way? Do you think that your involvement in politics will help that part of the region?
Well, this is my desire. I want to represent not only the Bodos. Not because I am a Bodo I want to join politics, but because I feel that yes, I can contribute something by joining politics, because politics really gives you greater opportunity to serve the society, to bring about change. There is no doubt about it. If you are in bureaucracy, it doesn't, because bureaucracy only follows the policy laid down by politicians. And as governor for 5 years, it was not for me to initiate the policies. I was bound by the constitution, so I could not initiate the things that I wanted to, because it is not the role of governor. So I feel that if I join politics at this stage, I definitely would be able to contribute something. And this is not because I am a Bodo. If someone says that yes, you represent the Bodos only, I think that will be totally wrong.
Sure.
I would represent the people who are exploited, poor, who need help, people who need security, people whose voice is not heard. Now, I would want to represent the voiceless.
So, would you consider representing Assam's any part of this Assam as in the Rajya Sabha if you are given an opportunity?
Yes, it's a big if. Why not? Who would not like to be nominated to Parliament? I don't think there is anyone who wouldn't like to be, but then it depends on the political parties. So far, I am not a member of any political party, though I have the mind that I might contest election when the time comes. But right now, I have really not decided whether I would join political party or I would go on my own.
As you are saying that you have not decided which party to join, but I think it interests us to know that which party are you looking at.
It's an open issue for me. When the time comes, I will take the call. And I told you, either I join some party or go on my own. These are the two options.
So many in northeastern region draw you as an inspiration, which I understand because you are from this part of the region. You are the first among the boroughs to qualify IPS examination. I would like to take your reaction on the education scenario of entire northeast, because in remote areas we see the existence of ghost teachers. Teachers hardly attend their duties. So how can we make revamp, because there are so many revamp policies in this part of the region, but when it comes to actually percolating down to the grassroots, I feel it is in shambles.
You are right, because the system of our education is not helping in building a human being. We may be able to take pride telling that yes, our literacy rate is going up, the number of graduates, number of postgraduate students have gone up and all that. But are we really making human beings a better human being, which is the basic aim of education? Education must be able to transform the human being along with his ability to read, write, understand. He must also be able to reform his own mind, and that we have failed in education. That is one thing. That applies to other parts of India also. In the northeast, what has happened? Shillong, for example, take it. When I was a student there, Shillong was known as the hub of educational excellence, next only to Kolkata. The standard was very good at the time. So everyone would appreciate Shillong. Oh yes, it is education standard is very high there. But today, I don't think any place in northeast is commended for its educational standard. So we need better teachers. You need teachers who can inspire the students. We need students who are really receiving good values in education and good values from their families.
Sir, I think we have come to the end of the program, so I would just like to take your last reaction, basically an advice for the younger generation in Northeast, because we see that Northeastern people, the youths, are very, very disturbed. They always have certain things in mind which goes wrong, and they take up arms, they go wrong way, they get into drugs. So your advice to youngsters in this part of the region?
My advice to youngsters is that when they are learning something, their first priority is to learn, whether they are in a school or college or university. They must first finish this chapter in their life, their learning, process of learning, acquiring skill, being empowered. So this is their first priority. And they should not waste their energy, not dissipate their resources in thinking this and that. They must concentrate on studies, and they also should try to become good human beings, stable in character, dependable, compassionate, honest, and wanting to do something useful for the society and also for himself. So this is my advice to the young people in the region. And I also know they are not less qualified, they are second to none. Personally, our students, our young boys and girls are very intelligent. They may not be able to speak the languages English or Hindi in a way others speak, but then they are very intelligent. They will learn that. After all, if you do not know how to speak English or Hindi, it doesn't mean that you are not intelligent. So that feeling of inferiority should disappear from the minds of our young men and women in the Northeast.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to Frontier TV and sparing your valuable time. That was Ranjit Shekhar Mooshahary talking to us in Conversation. Keep watching Frontier TV for fast, fair and fearless news.